Today in the studio we have Mark Kaigwa, digital storyteller, social media strategist and founder of Nendo. Named one of Forbes magazine's 30 under 30 best young African entrepreneurs, his boutique firm is one of few in the world producing social media trend reports about Africa. At 27, Mark is already one of Africa's digital pioneers and he's just getting started. I'm George Asias, founder of African Speakers and Artists, and I'd like to welcome you to our Trailblazer interview series. When people do engage you to speak at their events, what do you speak about?
In the past, one of the things that I've had the great privilege and certainly a historic opportunity to do is lay out in real time the Africa Rising narrative. So I think a lot of people are coming to terms with what that really means. You know, 54 countries, can they all rise at the same time? You know, I might not get into the details of that discussion, but I just had the chance to again, by observing and reaching out to my network of entrepreneurs, business leaders, and generally just young people doing interesting and captivating things in their respective countries, capture a number of their stories and package them around technology, innovation, startups, and I got to travel the world really quite extensively, packaging and presenting that story. When I look at the continent and see from a storytelling perspective, the tables have shifted immeasurably and nothing can change that. And I think the heart of the Africa Rising narrative was around the middle class. And you know, people who had run Excel spreadsheets and models around saying, well, this is going to be their disposable income, therefore invest to this extent. Now, there's certainly no kidding ourselves that some of those expectations haven't been met. You know, companies have had to make corrections and make significant changes. But what it doesn't take away is that for me, and it's something I've been so excited to engage brands and business leaders from across the world in creating an experience where they get to see what the aspiring middle class gets to do. Not the middle class, not the ones, and certainly, you know, middle class actually is a subject of some very heated debates on what counts as middle class. You have, you know, this this dearth of statistics and so on. I take heart in the fact that when you look at what statisticians have now agreed is going to be our demographic dividend, meaning our youngest continent in the world, and their exposure to the lowering cost of technology, the lowering costs of access, where those two things converge, excites me. And it excites me from a storytelling perspective, from a good services perspective, from a value creation perspective. But look, hey, I'm no economist sitting behind macroeconomic data trying to predict stuff. I'm just a guy here trying to create digital products and services and experiences. And I get to see and witness this every day from a data point of view, and I'm encouraged by what I see. And so at that level, I think there's a lot to be said. And I still think that the people who play this game long are the ones who win, not the ones who are in it to ride the wave of Africa Rising and left at the first sight of like things weren't going their way.